Hello everyone, I am Neelabja Shah, and in this session I am going to explain my financial plan for the 25 years to come ahead after completing my MBA, that is in 2022. So I will just quickly go ahead and share my screen so that we are able to refer to the Excel sheet when I am giving a demo on it. So if you get into the Excel sheet that I have provided as a part of my submission, you will be seeing several Excel sheets within the file. So these sheets are timeline, detailed, education loan, housing loan, car loan, and travel expenses. So I have provided a broad timeline in terms of the years that I am going to have ahead of me, and I have tallied it across with age and milestones. So the milestones, as mentioned, can be as simple as getting a promotion. It can also be buying a car, buying a property, and it is all those set of things which are important to any individual. So I have kept the milestones broadly professional, and it is mixed with a touch of personal ambitions in terms of, say, a higher role in a job structure, or buying a property, or buying a car. So those things are there. And apart from that, I have also tried to pinpoint when these milestones are coming in terms of the stage of employment, in terms of the first sheet, that is the timeline sheet. Also, I have tried to tally it across with the overhead expenses that I will be having in those specific years during my career as an MBA graduate. So, according to that, I have also uh, kept another column called the expenses, which will be including heads like holidaying cost. It will be having expenses like buying a mobile or a laptop, or a Bose home theater session, a Bose home theater system. So these are the broad leisure activities that I have bucketed in the leisure expenses column. And apart from that, I am also having these separate detailed sheets. So this is a detailed sheet with all the expenses that can come up. However, I have not really indulged in giving exact figures for the say buying a laptop or buying a mobile. I have not given them explicitly because I have made a savings column over here with respect to the expenses that I have in terms of, say, paying the EMI of an education loan, housing loan, and car loan. And along with that, I have also kept a standard of living column. So which is with respect to a major metropolitan city in India. I have, as a referral point, I have used Hyderabad and used the current standard of living expenses for Hyderabad in a family of four. So I have not explicitly mentioned the cost of a mobile or the cost of a Bose home theater system, because I think the savings would be enough to cover them up. So this is a detailed age specific, experience specific, and job headwise salary and education, housing, and car loan EMI expenses that have been provided in this page. I will just zoom out a bit. So over here I have a chart which explains the uh, age to salary relationship. It also has another chart which is the salary to savings relationship over there. And every sheet over here is provided with a set of references and assumptions which are a way to check exactly from where I have got the salary figures. So it is pertinent to mention over here that I am a guy who has a WorkX in IT enabled supply chain solutions as part of Cognizant. So I am very much aware of the hierarchy, the pay scale of very top section of the hierarchy, where you might find managerial roles, managerial functions, and a lot of the figures which I have used are referred to those specific designations in the Cognizant hierarchy, referring from Glassdoor and getting their average salary, and planning the thing in terms of an organization which I have already worked in. So that has given me some support in terms of ideating the financial structure that I'm providing over here. So I will just quickly go ahead and briefly explain how this works. So this is a column which is the age uh, that I have on a yearly basis. I have given it. So previously I thought of categorizing it in sections, but then I realized that the explanation for the salary heads and the savings will not be as explicitly provided if I do that. So I have individually given them in a very sequential manner, and I have also given a column called job, where I am clearly mentioning the switches from one job to the other, and I have tried to find the rationale behind the switches in terms of the work experience I am having after MBA, and I have tried to tally that work experience with the salary level that I'm talking about. So I have started with 15 LPA salary. All the figures that you see in this Excel sheet are in INR and are in an yearly scale. So even the EMI expenses, I have scaled it up to an yearly scale, where I have calculated the uh, each EMI amount and multiplied it with 12 to get a round figure out of it, and then I have calculated it. So starting with 15 LPA salary, I have given a 1.15 uh, jump in the next 2 years. So that is a 15% increase in the salary. It should have been ideally a 15% increase in the base salary, but since there is a lot of complexities regarding in-hand bonus and all that, so for the simplicity of the calculation, I have taken a 15% of the entire salary and given the father salaries down the line according to age. So as you can see that I have started with a salary of 15 lakhs, and I have immediately started with the education loan EMI, which is required of every individual who takes an education loan to start paying immediately after you get a job. That is, the moratorium period ends immediately after you start getting a salary. So those figures have been provided. And also, if you refer to the timeline, there is a lot of relationship in terms of the switching of jobs or buying a flat or buying a car, and their detailed representation is provided here. Like for instance, when you see that I am paying an EMI of housing loan of 70 lakhs per uh, 7 lakhs per year, then you see that this figure has started from the age of 35. So if you go to the timeline, you will see in age 35, I have got a promotion in my third job and I have bought a 3 BHK flat. So this correlation exists in each of those elements in the detailed plan that has been provided. I have also provided a capping in terms of where I see myself in terms of the hierarchy. So if you really need an explicit designation, so I am looking at a senior director role by the age of 51. So that gives me a upper cap in terms of planning the finances and also allocating the funds effectively in terms of buying a car or in terms of buying a property or having a trip to Vatican, Rome, or say having a trip to Mount Matterhorn, Switzerland. So I have given those details over here. I've also given a sum total of the salary, the expenses, the EMI expenses, and most importantly, the total of the standard of living, which has also a rationale, because I realize that if I'm having a standard of living which amounts to say 9,60,000 rupees during the first phase of my employment, say till an age of 38, where I have just got a promotion into a leadership role in an organization, that standard of living is bound to go up when I become a director or when I become a senior director. So there is a rationale behind increasing the standard of living along with the promotions that I get, and that is also reflected over here. So just moving on to the education loan. So this small part of the box that you have in education loan, this is regarding the exact figures that I have as part of my education loan uh, understanding with the bank that has financed me. But I have a vision of really paying it within 7 years, because dragging a loan amounts to me paying more amount of money to them. So I have kind of circumcised it down to a 7-year tenure where I am willing to pay extra, and As we all know that SBI doesn't charge any extra amount of cess or a tariff on amounts you pay which are greater than the EMI amount. So if I'm paying 50,000 rupees where my EMI is actually 18,000 rupees, they're not going to charge me. So I have effectively scaled that value down in terms of the tenure and scaled that value up in terms of the EMI that I am providing. And also if on a loan of a tenure of say 180 installments with principal amount of 19.27 lakhs, I'm supposed to pay a total amount of 30.69 lakhs. That is being scaled down to something around 25 lakhs in terms of paying it across 7 years. And also I have provided an EMI chart. This is with respect to the actual SBI EMI calculator which I found in the net. I have also provided the references and the websites to the same. So I have done a similar thing with each of the liabilities that I'm going to incur over a period of time in terms of housing loan, car loan and everything. So I have used SBI's its own EMI calculators in terms of resources that are available in the net. I have also provided the proper references each and every where of these specific sheets that you have. So for the basic assumption for the housing loan would be an amount of 50 lakhs. This is bound to go up, but I am not thinking of buying a property beyond 15 lakhs, because if I'm able to spend more, probably I will have multiple properties in multiple locations. But as a placeholder, just to go about with it, one property of 50 lakhs, that is what I'm looking at right now. And in a car loan, my requirements are pretty basic. I'm looking at a 10 lakh hatchback kind of a car, and this is also the SBI's chart or the guidelines for what amount of loan you take and what amount of EMI you pay over a tenure. So these are there. And apart from that, I really want to visit Vatican, Rome and Mount Matterhorn in Switzerland. So I have also provided the probable costs of these expenses. And just to remind that this 25-year count that is been given, it is for only for specific this one. Actually I should really change it. Actually I should change it. So it should be for 25 years I am going to have regional travel. So I have definitely kept on this as a thing, but this is the per, okay, so this is the per year cost that we are looking at. I will just simply remove this column itself, so that makes it clearer. Yeah. So that is the travel expenses I am looking at. And I really acknowledge that there are a part of the data that has not been provided explicitly, but in terms of the savings that I have had, those specific initiatives can really be taken up. But I have abstained myself from mentioning them explicitly in this table, because I realize that there's no point in like mentioning something in the table for which I am not providing a detailed financial setup, a detailed financial plan as was asked of this task. So yeah, that is my demo on my financial plan for the next 25 years. It has been a great opportunity to learn on a project like this, on a submission like this, and really to plan this. And thank you for the opportunity.